Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Right now, there are parents in the court seeking to know where their children went to. This is all about abduction. And so, with this case in court, Justice Andrew Mwamuye was the one sitting to make judgment after listening to this case. The order was that CS for Interior Kipchumba Murkomen, IG of Police Douglas Kanja, DCI was summoned to appear before the court to answer to these grey issues. But then what happened? All of these individuals, none of them show up in the court. The order was that you appear, not to send your lawyer, but you appear in the court. That was the order. But instead, they were attempting to send their lawyers alone. Yes, everyone has a right to have a lawyer to represent him. That is our law. But when they say you come and appear, there are questions that they will be directing to you. Maswali yako direct. They are sending the Attorney General. So AG and the lawyers are the ones to answer the case. With that, Justice Andrew Mwamuye found it unfit to, listen to these lawyers without these guys answering some questions directly. And now, the proceeding had to be adjourned, and these lawyers were asked or directed by Justice Mwamuye to look for these individuals. Kipchumba akuje, Kanja akuje, DCI akuje. But when you look at this issue, the person who really is carrying the heavy burden here, who should be actually answering this question, is IG of Police Douglas Kanja. Yani Wakenya hawawezi potea tu, na wewe ni IG, unasema haujui, ukisikia wamekuwa released from the, the hands of abductors. You unasema you want to investigate. So there will be another proceeding after this adjournment. And if Kanja will miss the next hearing, this is what Justice Andrew is saying, that he will have no choice but to charge him with contempt of court and sentence him on the spot. That is now another trap for this current IG. This makes me remember about the acting Inspector General of Police, Masengeli. Ilifika mahali wakarudi kwa kusema wanaomba mambo ya misamaha. And for the DCI, the judge is saying that he will proceed with the conviction and invite him for mitigation. So, hii mambo si rahisi vile wanafikiria. It is beyond what they think.
No, just a moment. Just a moment. Okay. During the recess, I've had opportunity to think about this matter. Ordinarily, when I issue my orders and they're not complied with, it's a very straightforward, very simple way. The only three things I do. The first is I find you in contempt, dispense with mitigation and sentencing, and go straight to sentencing, if it is clear in the face. The other route that I follow is I find you in contempt, I invite you for mitigation and sentencing. And the third, where it is not clear-cut, I invite you for notice to show cause. So that is how I left this court for the recess. I was going to return and apply one of those three ways. But then I thought about Madam Mutua, who has come to court today, a sister of a petitioner applicant who is not before this court and whom is not at liberty. And I asked myself, what is the priority for this court? Enforcing judicial authority through contempt of court, or to get to the bottom of where the seventh petitioner applicant is? I'm sure Madam Mutua and her family and their friends are thinking the absolute worst now that they are seeing the second to the sixth at liberty, but their beloved brother, son, is not. So I'm going to do something I do not do ordinarily. I will place the question of contempt to one side, because I firmly believe all of us in this room, our first priority is to secure the seventh petitioner applicant. I've heard Mr. Nyamodi, I've heard you, Mr. Nyamodi. Certainly there needs to be investigations, but this is not a matter for 14 days. What I'd want to hear from counsel is a proposal, not from Mr. Nyamodi, from the rest. I'll begin with senior counsel. What is practical in terms of a return date that gives the second and third respondents in particular the opportunity to take statements and to return, such that when the Inspector General of Police is returning before me for hearing, not a mention, for hearing, they'll have had an opportunity. And so that I make it clear, so that when you are giving your responses, there can be no doubt, if the Inspector General of Police misses on that third hearing date, I will go with option one. I will cite, convict, and sentence on the spot. With respect to the Director, DCI, I will convict and invite him for mitigation and sentencing. There will be no further opportunities beyond this next hearing date.
Now, I want us to continue with the panel discussion, but I have a very, very humble request. I have been running a program here to try and raise funds for the needy students within our society. I have three, one lady, two boys. And out of these three, two are orphans. One at Busali Union Secondary School, another one Chawagere. Then the lady at Chawagere Secondary School, that is St. Mark's Orthodox Chawagere Secondary School. So the lady will need 11,000, the boy 11,000 at Chawagere, but the one at Busali, he will need 41,000 Kenyan shillings. So far, we've been able to raise 41,000, and we have a shortage of about, of course, 20, because you see, you need like 63,000 to close this gap. So we are still appealing to those who are in a position to help to kindly do so, and we will be running this program up to Saturday. Ikifika hapo, we close the chapter. So allow me to thank the following people who have sent in the support as of late: Derry, Kuria, Okech, Francis, James, Ruth. The other people I had mentioned in the previous video. So I want to thank all of you for what you have been able to help through this program, and let us keep on doing. So I see we are doing well, and definitely we are achieving something. Now let us go back to our discussion. Now, we know very well, according to the allegation, that IG of police might not be involved in the issue of abduction, because we are being told that there is a squad that has been formed, domiciled at cooperative building with a different commander, different faces, who report directly to the president, not through the IG. So ni kitengo tofauti kabisa ambacho IG hana uwezo kukihusu. Lakini swali ni kwamba yeye ni IG of police. Kwa nini yeye asifanye kazi yake tu diligently and independently? By doing so, it means he proceeded to arrest these individuals kama hawa wanaoperate outside the law. Hata polisi ana haki ya kushikwa akifanya makosa. Yeye ile kazi alikuwa nayo moja ilikuwa ni kwenda kukamata hawa jamaa. As simple as that. But he has failed in a big way, of course. And the reasons are obvious. So he has been set to fail. We were told that Gachagua is the one who helped him to get this job. They might be in a process to do away with him. And they might be falling into this guy's traps. Now look here. If Justice Mwamuye is prepared to sentence the IG for missing, and I know he can proceed to miss, what will happen? Already his name will have been tainted. His reputation will have been injured. No Kenyan will trust him. Watamuona kama mfungwa ambaye anatembea. So what next? And so for this government, what they have to know is that there is law. Ni yeye atakuwa sentenced, yeye akikataa kwenda kujipeleka kwa prison, lakini julikana ya kwamba the court did their job. As simple as that. Think it will be better. But for this guy to stop the blame, mistrust from Kenyans, soon he will be replaced. Yeye anaweza kuwa ni mwanakondoo ambaye ametengwa for sacrifice. And therefore, this regime might end up sacrificing him before they bring in their own person. I don't know your views, but let us meet in the comment section to continue with this discussion. Thank you so much, and see you in our next video.